Let's take a look at the show notes. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the Keyard podcast. Bit of a fresh face on his own today. Tom De Silva. How are you doing,
Hello,
Tom?
guys. I'm really good. How are you, Kieran? I'm
Yeah,
very
not
good.
not too bad. Just before we start any further, unfortunately Rob hasn't been able to make it today, so I had to make a quick swift over and kindly ask Tom, who was able to fill in at very short notice. So massive thanks to Tom again. Thank you so
It's all
much.
right. Happy to help,
Yeah,
always.
absolutely. So normally we have the sponsors coming in. The only thing I've got on me is this In Music We Trust. So supported a good cause. You know, a less jokey sponsor this time, I suppose. But
Yeah, last week on my podcast, we were sponsored by a streaming platform we're using called Melon. And then Ben almost pulled out a watermelon.
oh, okay.
Yes, sponsored by Melon.
On this
Watermelon.
in this episode, I'm gonna crush a watermelon with my bare hands. Yeah. Yeah. How has your week been?
It's been a really interesting week. It's been a very transformative, I think.
Yeah.
I've kind of started off the week feeling a bit depressed and a bit shit, and then kind of coming out with something positive.
Yeah.
I've got big news. I'm moving in with my mates, two of my best mates,
That's what we like to hear.
two of my best mates.
Yeah.
In the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Starting to look on Monday for flats and stuff.
Mm.
Hopefully, end of the week we'll come up with something. Start making moves.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You know,
Yeah.
it's in a time where we can't really control many things. This is something I actually can do to change my fate and better it. So I'm very positive about that. Also, I got a new lead shirt, which is always fun.
Yeah, I did see that. I was. Did you see my comment in the Discord where I was like, because I only realised that I should have edited that afterwards because it looked like it was a De Silva that snapped Højbjerg's shin when I meant to say shin pad, so that sounded a bit
Yeah.
too violent and me laughing about it. So
Yeah, I laughed about it as well. I was like, Kieran's blatantly got that wrong, and it's all right. So good. But yeah, I got that as well with my name on the back. That finally came after Christmas.
yeah,
But apart from that, it's just been really slow because nothing's fucking been happening.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
been
It's
getting into like new albums. Like I've been listening to everything from Barry Manilow to fucking Dirty Neil. I've been having a weird week.
mm.
Coco Cabana.
I've started getting into like because on Spotify when I've like looked at the metal genre, the last albums I've seen on there are before Christmas, like new albums. So it's been a bit stagnant in new releases. I have checked like on the internet, and there is some new stuff coming up
Mhm.
later on in the month. But I think January is just a really slow month for like new music and things. But I've looked at like the New Blood playlist to see what like new exciting bands are out there, and there's been quite a few, so I've been happy to listen to those, and I shared those in Discord servers and things like that. Holding Absence recently came out with the second single off their off the upcoming album, The Greatest Mistake of My Life, so I've been listening to that, and honestly I think it is the best one of the best singles best songs they've done so far in their career. And there'll be a song that'll be getting you to listen to upcoming in the podcast, so look out for
Cool.
that because we're still going to be
Fantastic.
doing the listen to this segment.
And
Um,
also, yeah, I made my debut on the Music and Isolation blog as well.
yeah,
Ben's not going to forgive me unless I plug it because obviously it's Ben.
yeah,
There should be something going up about Blue Eye Giants, who are a fantastic bunch of lads I interviewed on Thursday evening. They were absolute gentlemen.
oh, nice.
First music interview I've done in 2 years,
Mhm.
so that was fun. But
Mm,
also I was bricking it because I hadn't done it in a while.
yeah,
But it was good to speak to those lads. They're good crack.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna definitely put an article up when I get the chance
Mhm.
this week.
Oh, wicked.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, it's been a bit slow. One Division came out the other day. I watched the first two episodes of that last night,
Mm.
and Enchantment as well. I've been watching that.
Ah,
So
right.
I've
Yeah.
been keeping myself relatively busy with both entertainment and music and life choices. So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm posy vibes, bro. Posy vibes.
We
Anyway,
yeah, we recently got recently had to fork out for a TV license because we finally found a way to get channels onto our TV. So you know, we just want that element of having anything on at some point and not having like the paradox of choice when you go into Netflix and other streaming services to find the thing that's going to keep you entertained for hours. We recently watched something called Prodigal Son, and if you've watched The Walking Dead, the actor who played Jesus in that is the main character in it, and it's got Michael Sheen in it as well. So a very good combination. And Michael Sheen just steals the show in it. So I've been happy to watch that. And I'm not a big fan of detective shows in general, but this one's got some little bit of an extra storyline to it that keeps me engaged. So I'm quite happy on that front. Also, because I've been like, you know, getting recommendations for new PC games and things like that, I've been thinking about upgrading my hardware. So in the next budget sort of thing, I know Katie would disagree and say get a puppy, but I do want to get a new graphics card that is just powerful enough to like run my VR headset. Like mine can. But I want something that is going to run it with minimal problems.
I've had to put my my nerdy aspirations on the back burner at the moment because obviously I'm moving into a new house, which is fine. I'll get my deposit back easy. It's just moving into a new house. It's probably be less cheap, but I'd rather spend it on food and shit before I have to go back to work. I really want to buy something really special because I'm turning 25 this year. I'm getting old.
Wait till you get to 27.
Oh no. So
not too long till I get to 30.
Doing a bit of research into replica lightsabers. I've always wanted like a replica lightsaber that changes color and sound and does cool shit. And for me to do it, talking about $1,000 for it to properly be like a proper like one that has like 11 sound fonts on it and changes settings. But yeah, I'm not buying that until I've got I'm settled in my new flat. And I'm either back at work or got a new job. So not happening anytime.
Because like I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order, and you know you can customize your lightsaber in that game. I like being like different in those sorts of games when I can customize things. So I've got an orange colored lightsaber instead of like purple or anything like that. I'm like, nah. I mean, Mace Windu was cool and everything, but I'm gonna be my own man. Yeah, that's the way I love to be. And Steph, thanks for the compliment on the shirt as well. I think I got this around. Was it during? I think it was during the pre-order of the album.
I'm supporting our boy.
There we go.
Devin.
Yes.
Bit of Devin Townsend. There we go. Strapping young lads.
I wonder why.
Hi.
Yes.
So yeah. A bit of Strapping Young Lads today and a bit of Berry tomorrow on the Kiar podcast, eh?
All right.
Anyway,
well, let's segue then into the title, which is usually something we end the podcast on in terms of like the segmented areas. But I think it was something that came up in the Discord chat yesterday, and we were talking about tallest metal musicians, and we thought it would be a good idea for this show. So I've got a Google search of. I accidentally opened Edge at that point just then.
How the hell is Tommy Lee from Motley Crue not included in that list of metal musicians that are very tall? Because I swear he's very tall.
Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just like, I don't know. Let's have a look. Sorry, it always goes all weird when I try to change it over. So here we go. So yeah, we got Peter Steele, who's 2.3 meters. Okay, he's a big lad. Chris, if I butcher some of these names, by the way, I greatly apologize. I've seen Jim Root be quite tall, but I thought Mick Thompson is Jim Root taller than Mick Thompson.
I reckon they're probably around in the same height range. It's because Mick Thompson looks more intimidating. That's why he's tall.
Yeah.
And because we're a bunch of shorties, anyone that looks more intimidating, we immediately think is taller than us.
Yeah.
Which is probably very realistic.
So in that case,
most bearded metal scary people you encounter at a bar like the Dev, who look gigantic and big, I always go, "You're tall and a bit scary," but they're actually lovely.
Yeah.
So
Jim Root's like a gentle giant, isn't he? And there's a reason that the bass drum is so heavy because Danny Carey's probably got like huge feet or something like that from his size alone. So there you go. Buckethead, I can see that. I can see him being quite tall. And and you could probably notice there you go, Mick Thompson. So how tall? Jim Root's 1.98 and Mick Thompson's 1.93. So yeah, not too separate.
Yeah.
Floor Jansen. Oh, I didn't realize she was that tall, Floor Jansen.
Hetfield, I kind of knew.
Yeah,
Hetfield is a tall. Hetfield is a big boy.
Big
He
boy.
is a big
He's a
boy.
big boy. That's the bubbly.
I'm a big boy.
And then right in the corner you got Ronnie James Dio 1.63. It's like,
Oh, he's little. He's little
Yeah.
little Ronnie James Dio.
he is, but his bite was always worse than his bark when he was on
True.
stage. So when we go from that, we go to find out who the smallest guys in rock and heavy metal are, because you gotta make some noise out for the smaller ones. So we've got,
Of course, we're talking about Lars from Metallica.
yeah,
So I can do my amazing Lars impression.
he fucking
when,
left his high heels at home, dude.
I let him hear high heels at home, dude.
So you got Kerry King from Slayer, who's 5'5". Bloody hell! I guess that's the compilation, complimenting from the beard a little bit. Lars, but that's not all right. I see. So they haven't got the picture for Lars Ulrich there. So I was confused when they said Scott Ian was Lars Ulrich. I mean, that would be Lars Ulrich after he decided to shave his hair off. But
I love how the description of the photo is Lars Ulrich with his very tall wife. You know what I found out? He went out with a Bond. He was married to a Bond girl very briefly. Lars Ulrich. If you've ever seen the film Devil's Advocate, the devil's daughter in that film is actually Lars's wife throughout most of the 90s.
yeah,
And I didn't realize it until I did some research after watching it with a partner. So yeah, Scott Ian, obvious. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to show like the most notable. Well, I was going to say the most notable ones are the shorter ones, but then again, like you've seen quite a few notable ones from the tall guys, but you got some like really loud terriers in here, like Bruce Dickinson, for example. But even the rest of the band themselves, they're not the tallest bunch.
Oh, Bruce is shorter than me. Fuck's sake, I'm like 5'6". Or is he 5'7"?
How tall am I?
Is
I'm
he
like
shorter than
5'8".
me?
Yeah, I'm 5'8", so not too bad.
Makes sense.
I'm the most average person you could come across, probably. Brian Johnson, there's no picture of him there, but I can see that happening as well. Danny Filth.
As someone that's actually interviewed him, yeah, tiny boy. Tiny boy.
Very
tiny.
That was the main name that came up last night, was the Glenn Danzig one.
Ooh, the twisted kernel.
Ronnie James Dio. Oh, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Joey Jordison. That's probably how he's so fast on the double pedals, just because of, well, yeah, how fast he was before. So that's cool. Angus Young. Yeah, I could see that as well. A little schoolboy getting his kicks in really well. And I think that is it for that. So that's probably like the quickest segment we've had. But any closing thoughts on that whatsoever?
Like, yeah, those are the kind of the ones that you expect. Like Joey, definitely. Like even at Slipknot's like Iowa Volume 3, like becoming that big metal band Prime, he was always the short boy in that band. Angus Young has been literally being a short schoolboy for his entire career, and he's in his bloody 70s.
Yeah,
and Bruce is around the same height as me, and that's a bit of a weird fact I found out today.
Yeah,
and I'm quite a big Maiden fan, so
I mean, so let's see. What we could do as a bit of a bonus is see which musicians are the same height as us. So you said you were 5'6". So should we look for musicians who are 5'6"?
This is like when I looked up who shares my birthday or who also has ADHD. He's the same height as me.
I haven't know many people who have undiagnosed Asperger's from my side. So not close. So Roger Daltrey. Let me just change it over again. Right. So we've got Roger Daltrey. Prince 5'2". I didn't realize he was that short.
Oh, it's because he mostly wore high heels when you think of Prince in his like purple rain kind of prime. So
I hate how they consider 5'8" short though. Favorite short musicians: 5'8" Bob Marley, Fuck off.
Yeah. No.
Angus Young,
Oh,
Malcolm Young,
Bono.
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 What was that fun fact I learnt yesterday? Katie was telling me about it. That the reason Bono wears his sunglasses is because he has slight glaucoma.
Does he? Is that why?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
So that was an
So he's
interesting
not
fact.
just being a pretentious twat.
No, no, that's his part-time job. That is.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the
Sorry,
Dirt Sheet
I love
podcast.
you too, but, like, yeah, I've got to mug him off when I can.
Welcome to the Key Dirt Sheet podcast. So yeah, that's quite interesting. The other news we've got is, and you've seen this on the list, is what are your thoughts on Wayne Rooney being Derby manager now?
Wayne Rooney is one of the greatest English players we've had over the last 20 years, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, of
Like,
course.
he did phenomenal with England. I hate the fact that he's a Man United player, but as an England player, like, phenomenal. It's interesting. It's an interesting move that all these, like, golden era managers are now moving into doing football managing. God, he looks old. Look at poor Shrek. God, he looks old.
Let me show the pic.
The pic of the Rooney at the Derby. Obviously, Derby's kind of become a bit of a hotspot for ex Premiership superstars wanting to be managers, considering where Frank Lampard is today at Chelsea. I think he'll do well.
Yeah, I mean, like Lampard, I didn't think did too bad at Chelsea last season. I mean, he still got them into the Champions League, and he's made more of a name out of players like Mason Mount. And he's finding new ways to he's trying to find new ways to fit like people like Werner and Havertz into the team. It's obviously a completely different ball game for them compared to the Bundesliga, and that's always something to keep in mind whenever going to the Premier League, because it is arguably the most competitive league in the world. Rooney, I think, is probably he hasn't. I don't think he's got as tough of a job as Lampard. The tougher job for him would be if they're expecting Rooney to allow Derby to get promoted. That would be the main thing, and then he has a case on his hands. But the thing is, he's just retired from them now. He knows their style of play, so he can coach them from a really could I say intrusive standpoint.
Yeah, I think he kind of benefits. Like Lampard, what Lampard's done with Chelsea is he's basically, I see him as kind of Arsene Wenger when Arsene Wenger joined Arsenal initially.
Yeah.
Like kind of done that team and what they can do with the limitations they brought on themselves. While Rooney is taking a Derby team which is actually really promising and has played with them, so he knows the boys on an intrinsic level.
Yeah.
The problem is going to be the issue with authority. Yes, probably a locker room leader there as he's a vet. He's been around for years. He's won cups. He's a legend. Rooney, and I'm saying this as someone that's a vehement Leeds United fan who hates Man United, going, yeah, Rooney's a legend.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing on the pitch. It's about translating what he knows as a player to what he is as a coach. And that's what we've got to kind of, as football fans, we're going to bear witness to in the next few years.
Yeah.
But also, I was saying this to a friend because I'm part of a leftist soccer league Facebook group. It's basically a bunch of left-leaning football fans, and we talk about like soccer from America. We talk about everything. We were all really surprised by this, but I also felt a bit sad because it's kind of the end of my kind of childhood generation of players. The likes of Rooney, the likes of Ferdinand, the likes of Lampard, Drogba, Terry, Cech. All of them have kind of either been a pundit now, or they're a manager. And it's just, it's kind of, I'm getting on in years, and all my old players are going into management, like that are on the England team. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few years with him. I hope he does well.
Yeah.
Because I actually have a lot of respect for him. Had a lot of shit in the press about him and his wife, and a lot of it has been proven false. So I actually kind of respect Rooney in a way I don't respect Lampard. So, yeah.
Rooney's played he's played in so many different teams. Even in different leagues, like even the MLS, and he went back to Derby and things, and he's played different positions as well. He's played striker, centre midfield. So I think that he does have like a dynamic side of him that he can play. So he can coach from that standpoint as well. He can understand people's strengths and weaknesses. So I feel like, it's probably early days yet to say anything at all. But I think that, like Gerrard's, the way he's popped Rangers up. I think Rooney's he's gonna do it. He has the potential to do a similar thing, I think. And I wish the absolute best for him. The other thing I wanted to get on, and you can form your own rant if you want, but I did say that I was finally going to pull the curtain down whilst talking up and down about my favourite football club, from their performances, from their balanced lifestyle, play style, or should I say imbalanced. We'll see how this goes. So, a bit of a recap on Spurs this season.
Yeah. It's not looking good for you guys, is it?
Let's see, right. Everton missed chances, gave away a goal in the second half, did not provide any leeway to score any goal whatsoever. Fair enough, we let that one go because Southampton, it was an outstanding display, but obviously I think it got to our heads because the next game after that was Newcastle. Despite the fact that Carl Darlow was on top of his game that day, we should have tried to secure a 2-goal lead, but we have this weird spell now where when we go up by 1-0, that's it. We just defend and we just protect that lead, and it's just. I'll get onto that further.
A part of this is you do realise as a part of this is how Jose likes to tactic his team.
Yeah,
which is part of the issue with a Spurs team that has legitimately about 4 or 5 of the best midfielders and attacking players.
Yeah.
In world football.
Yeah.
Easily, and they're just parking the bus. Mm-hmm. It reminded me eerily of Man United. With Jose
and Chelsea as well.
And Chelsea as well. And it's like that's not Tottenham.
Yeah,
that's not Tottenham.
You could see how many times before they were so explosive. And to be honest, I don't 100% blame Jose because Spurs have always been a team that have been like bottlers way before Jose came in. But to go further on to the recap. Man U played awesomely, but people forget that Man U had such awful defence on the day. Like they gave away a lot of chances to Spurs. Luke Shaw could not cover that wing to save his life. Harry Maguire did the worst header in the world. Martial got himself sent off for something really stupid. And Lamela just took that opportunity to just like really get up in their grill. West Ham, I mean, yeah, you could say that we scored 3 goals, but I think the moment that West Ham started scoring 2, we should have adapted to that, and we should have, kept on the high pressing so that we can cushion that lead even more.
It's weird because I historically recent years, I've never looked at West Ham as a good team. And I'm best mates with a West Ham fan. Like they're legitimately the person I go to the pub with to watch football with is a West Ham fan. And they were like, yeah, like we're doing surprisingly well. We're kind of beating teams we don't usually beat. And I think part of the issue with Tottenham is you've like bought big money players back. You've brought a legend like Bale back to the club. And not effectively adapt to him with the rest of the team properly.
Yeah, and I'll get onto Bale as well, because I do have a bit of a point about Bale. But Burnley, very lucky to win that game, because, we scored very late in the game. Bale saved the day against Brighton. I'll give him a lot of credit to that.
Oh, we've got them today. So Ben's a Brighton fan on the podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna murk us." I'm like, hopefully, but we haven't been playing too well either. So
I think Jose's problem is I don't think he's trying to get enough out of Bale, because I think he's playing Bergwijn in these bigger games, and Bergwijn at the moment he can find the spots to score, but his finishing is just way off, and I think he needs that practice. If he wants to be a clinical finisher, and that's something we're missing on the right hand side. On the left hand side we've got Son, who is clinical as well as Kane, but that right hand side you need to have that unexpected, that element of surprise if you want to win football games, because if you just have Kane and Son, people are going to expect to mark Kane and Son, and they're going to score. They're not going to score as much. But if you have that clinical finisher on the right hand side, it does put even more pressure on the opposition. And I think for the least amount of games that Bale has been in so far, he's actually scored more than Bergwijn. And even in big games like Brighton, and he's it's one of those things where I don't feel like he is being used enough. It's going back to Real Madrid, and I feel like I understand if they want to use Bergwijn's a younger player. He's oh, I can't. Hang on a sec. Rob's asked to join the call.
Yeah.
Shall I let him in? Because it's a bit awkward to change the overlay halfway through.
Yeah.
Hang on. Bear with me a second.
Cool.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to. I'm just gonna continue on as normal. I'm sorry. Sorry, Rob. But
sorry,
Rob. Let me just message him back now.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, I love Tottenham. Well, I don't love Tottenham. I take the piss out of you guys on a regular basis, but I have some begrudging level of respect for you guys. And like, I'm a little bit annoyed because, like, I thought after the documentary, the All or Nothing documentary, I was on your guys' side a little bit because I was like, oh, good, Jose wants to do something good with this team. And I don't think it's entirely his fault. I think there's some players on that team that just want to kind of just take their paycheck and fuck about, and there's players that legitimately want to get on the pitch and win titles.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that all the players that want to win titles will, Real Madrid or any of the other bigger teams in the league abroad or in England are going to go, oh yeah, we'll buy those players because they want to win titles.
Mm-hmm.
But will they necessarily get the playtime at a Man City or a Man United or a Real Madrid or a Barcelona? Probably not. But I want Tottenham to kind of figure their shit out instead of going, oh, we're going to play like a Jose team or we're going to play like Tottenham.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. By all means, you got Jose's tactics in mind, but you do have to be adaptive as a player. If you don't, then you're not gonna. You're gonna get easily anticipated by the opposition. Because there's the same for West Brom.
In the All or Nothing documentary with Danny Rose, and he was moaning about not wanting to be at Tottenham and feeling like he wasn't getting enough play time, and that he only wanted to be transferred to another team in the top flight. And obviously, he was an older player, and Jose was actually trying to reason with him. I was actually on Jose's side.
Yeah, so was I. Because
historically, I've never really been on Jose Mourinho's side and everything. But I watched it and I was like, Jose is actually being really reasonable here, and actually doing what he's supposed to be doing as a coach, as a manager, as a mentor to the team.
Yeah.
And you're just not fucking listening to him. And I reckon there's a few dirty eggs in that locker room not listening to him. And it angers me because I think Jose, out of other than maybe Pep, I'd say Jose's a slightly better manager than Klopp, but that's because he's definitely won more top trophies for teams and coached better players than Klopp so far. If I discount half of Liverpool's like upfront attacking capabilities, honestly, like they just need to sort this shit out. They need to listen to Jose, but they also need to figure out, do they want to play like a classic Tottenham team? Obviously, like, and improve upon that, or do they want to play I'm going to score a goal and then part the bus football like Jose does?
Yeah,
which has worked for him in the past with teams like Chelsea. But I think most fans of Tottenham want to see attacking football
Yeah.
because that's what your team is. You guys are a great attacking football side, and you've got five of the best players to actually do it in the world right now to do that. Just
Yeah.
makes me angry.
Yeah, because you can see that players like Kane and Son, they're trying their absolute hardest to win these games, and they have that winning mentality. But I feel like there's those players as well that just give up too easily. They just get too comfortable with a win, and then they just pull back. And you've seen it in the, like, to their saving grace, they won on my birthday against Man City. Happy about that.
Hey,
But
happy days.
Crystal Palace should not have drawn that game. There
No.
was, you could see in the second half after Tottenham scored that goal that Crystal Palace were getting further. They were pressing higher and higher, and Tottenham should have pressed back, but no, they just dropped back. They dropped back, and they just retained that. And people will tell me, yeah, but mate, you're at the final of a Carabao Cup or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing with the Carabao Cup: we beat Chelsea very, very closely, very luckily, because of a mistake made by Mason Mount. That's not something to go, oh yeah, we whooped your asses or whatever. And then
No, I think I hate to say this, but Chelsea are a slightly better team than you
I think
on a
so.
good
No,
day.
I think so.
A
Like,
slightly better team. Also that team has been training for 2 or 3 years to get good
mhm,
together.
yeah,
And I think Tottenham has gone, oh, we've got Bale back, we've got a few new ones, and obviously you've got the old team there going, oh, like, and half of the team don't or can't be bothered because they don't have a sense of direction,
hmm
and that's a big factor. But yeah, you did beat Chelsea, you capitalised on a mistake,
hmm
and yes, you're in a cup final, but
but Man City played Man U, and we played Stoke and Brentford. I know they've been good in their own
I
divisions, but
I'm gonna do you a bit of a disservice here, but I don't want to say this. You guys are kind of like the Atletico Madrid of the Premier League.
I know.
I don't I don't want to say that because I actually like Tottenham and I fucking hate Atletico Madrid.
I mean, I don't like. There's a few fans of Tottenham that I can just go. It's like England fans. It's coming home and all that kind of stuff. I understand the support, but don't get a bit too over your head and then start throwing a hissy fit when you lose. Because
Yeah,
it was back in the World Cup, we didn't really have the most difficult of thingamajigs. We didn't have the most difficult of opponents. We had Sweden. We still couldn't beat teams like Belgium and Croatia. So we got to semi-final. Not really by the skin of our teeth, except against Colombia.
yeah.
But like Tottenham in their case, yeah. I mean, I understand the silverware is important, but it's also showing that you're a team that is capable of winning more than just like the Carabao Cup at the moment is just like we've just got to get through one big team in order to win a
It's
trophy.
like look at
It's
the
like the
state of
Audi
the
Cup.
FA Cup. Like teams like this is what makes me angry about us. Like diverging onto Leeds for a little bit. Like we have a really good team in the midfield and in attacking in on like the top end of our pitch. Great team.
Hmm
Bottom end of the pitch, we don't. We have championship defenders. So when we play in a tournament like the FA Cup, we're going to get eaten up alive by most major Premiership teams
Mm,
and maybe some non-league sides. Because that is what the FA Cup and Carabao Cup has become.
hmm
It's become a bit of a proving ground for clubs that are a bit lesser than the top five, top six positions,
mm,
which it should be. Because obviously, I like an FA Cup surprise. I like a underdog story, and I like having that narrative in football. But at the same time, like these teams have got to prove that they deserve to be there
hmm
and and also deserve to win the league as well,
Yeah,
or to get in a good position to be in a Champions League or a European League spot. Um, and it's like what I've been saying for months about Leeds. Like I wanted us to get the seventh. I would have been very happy with seventh
hmm
or like eighth or 10th, but we're definitely mid-table fodder
hmm
right now,
yeah,
unless we get some more defenders,
yeah,
and then I can start bragging about how we're the greatest again, like I did most of last year, like the smug prick I am.
yeah.
So yeah,
I just think like it's all well and good saying, oh well, there's so many games left, we can we can pick it back up, blah blah blah. But this shouldn't have had to happen in the first place. You shouldn't
Really
have to
didn't, and
leave
that's
yourself.
why I got so angry about it.
That's why you shouldn't have to put yourself in a corner where you have to say, well, we got to work like 5 times as hard now in order not to let the opposition score. Because like when we scored that goal against Fulham this week, I was just like, well, I can sense Fulham are going to score in the second half. I just know it's coming. And what happened? It came. It came in the 74th minute, and I was just like, yep, knew it.
Knew it.
That is
always.
And
always.
The problem is, I think my big issue with counter-attacking football is when the limitation of chances. Like I've seen, high pressing teams like Liverpool. They do a lot of attempts, but eventually they get that goal in. And that's how they widened the gap between many other teams last season. But us with these close, very close wins, we shouldn't really have that close of a win all the time.
You know what makes me angry? There's no reason you guys shouldn't be as good as Man United.
That's the thing. Like, people are still saying, "Oh yeah, but we beat you 6-1, blah blah blah." I'm like, they're at the top of the league now, so that's kind of invalid. Why are you still saying that?
Yeah.
Like it's like throwing stones out of a glass house. That's what it is, and you're just like, just take the L for now and wait until you can actually prove yourselves to get back up there. Prove the pundits wrong, because that's what you want to do. You don't want to prove the pundits right. You want to prove them wrong, but apparently not. Like, a lot of people were egging Tottenham on to win the league when they were at the top, but I was always thinking it's only a matter of time before they like lose to Liverpool or something, and then they get knocked down to 3rd or 4th, and then now they're 6th. If they were like not drawing as much, I would have been more hopeful. But because they kept drawing games, I was like,
it's like at the beginning of the season we were doing fairly well, and then we got to Leicester and they destroyed us, and then it's kind of been like, oh, we'll win this game 4-0, we'll win this game, but then we'll let chances in, and it's just like we just need a better defense.
Yeah.
And maybe a new fucking goalkeeper, let's be honest.
Personally, I think that's been one of the most pathetic displays of us so far, losing at home to Leicester from a penalty, and because the defenders are nowhere in sight when Maddison scores.
And at least we forget Leicester are a good team, but they're not fucking like a team like Wolves or like even Aston Villa or West Ham. I don't put them, like, if it was the 2016 side, definitely that's the side that won the league.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, not now, and we're losing to teams like that, and that's what makes me angry.
Yeah, Rob.
I mean, even more angry losing to Crystal Palace. That will make me even more angry.
Yeah, because like, considering last season when we were in a rut, we absolutely kicked Crystal Palace's arse. I think it was like 4-0. And now it's like 1-1, and we're supposed to be better than we were last season. What happened? What happened?
What is football, man? What is football?
This is why I'm hoping that that there's some sort of revelation in this transfer window. We'll see what happens. I know Poch is trying to get Dele Alli in, and I think Dele Alli is actually trying to force a move from Levy.
Don't freeze up on me now. There we go.
What else have I heard from the transfer window so far? I know that there's been talks about defenders.
For us as well.
Yeah, I think Jose's been open of re-signing Christian Eriksen, and people are like saying, "Oh, do you realize how much of a baby he was before he left?" I'm like, he was no Danny Rose. Definitely not a Danny Rose. He wanted to leave because he wanted a new sort of he wanted a new challenge, and it wasn't what he expected, and that's fair enough. It's like the story of the prodigal son. Prodigal son goes out, realizes that life isn't as good as he thought it would be, comes back and appreciates what he had back home, and that might be the story with Eriksen. That's how I could see it. No,
Danny Rose was a bitter baby. Let's be honest. He was a bitter baby.
Yeah, because
I was like, you were never that big of a star anyway. So stop being a fucking bitter baby about it.
You'll never go to Milan, will you? Even Newcastle doesn't want you.
Massive David Lee Roth leaving Van Halen energy, and then realizing, oh shit, I'm not as good unless I've got Steve Vai next to me or Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah. Oh man. But that is that is my fury unleashed onto Spurs. My closing thought is that, there's a reason Spursy exists. Why would this team not want to fight against that mentality? Why would they settle for comfort and, work their socks off? Are they feeling like they're not getting paid enough? Well, show that you deserve to get paid more. It's as simple as that. Win those trophies, get more of an investment in to pay off that stadium, and then more things will come. But the way they're playing now, not as many things are coming. It's good that the side have played better than like being halfway down the table. Fair enough. That makes people do want to come to us to help improve the team, but it still needs to be better. I always say, just do not settle for second best or anything like that. Settle for doing better than you've done previously. It's always, I always find that's the case. There's no such thing as perfect.
No, there isn't, and that's kind of why I'm a bit like, with both our teams, like, it's just we're going through the motions, guys, going through the motions. But also, like, if I had a football player's salary, I'd be relatively happy, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean,
in my penthouse flat in central London.
It makes me wonder why Daniel Sturridge not giving £10,000 out to a guy who found his dog.
Ridiculous money.
Yeah.
That's half of my living wage. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's enough of football. Now, I did put Ask Reddit on the menu, but I've kind of got to the point where I'm like,
of things to talk about.
Yeah, I'm just gonna read out some Ask Reddits, and if something to you sparks, then we'll read some out some of the answers and give our thoughts. Star Wars in this. If you were a Star Wars character, what would you be? No, that's not one of them. What cinematic death would have had the best Oompa Loompa song?
Star Wars answer: Revenge of the Sith.
All right, we're just
Anakin
going with this.
Turning into Vader.
We're going with this one straight away then. Right. Okay. Which cinematic death would have had the best Oompa Loompa song? Revenge of the Sith. It's like execute Order 66.
6.
Oompa Loompa. It's just like the stormtroopers coming into that, and then one hits their heads, and it's just like, you broke the rules. Good day, sir.
It's an Oompa Loompa.
Do it. Oompa Loompa. Doobity doo. Any death from any Final Destination movie. I mean, they're already hilarious in that. Like, I think it was in the 4th movie where she goes, "I've got my eye on you," and then like a chip from a lawnmower hits her right in the eye.
I still think my favorite death is the sunbeds one.
Oh yeah, I cringed at that before, but I remembered. I just watched it again, and I was like, "This is quite funny."
Yeah.
How
as a kid you were scared of it, and then you realise, oh, this is actually hilarious.
If it at least tried to take itself seriously, you would have seen like a court case over that. The boss being fired for negligence and sent up to a few years in prison, and that place being shut down for very, very faulty work going on. Because in the first movie, you could see like a ghostly presence coming on, but in the later ones, it was just people being stupid. Like, wasn't it the what's it called? When the kid chased the pigeons away, and then he gets crushed by that giant machine. There's that one. So that's Final Destination. If you entire discussion. If Willy Wonka could die, I imagine there would be a several-day requiem involving rhymes as brutally honest as they would have been lyrically poignant.
Oh God, we're not gonna. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I'm just reading what they put down there in relation to a certain world event. Oh no!
Back-breaking labour while Willy makes bank. Minimum wage is repulsive and wrong as we make chocolate all day long.
Oh my God!
Oh, we're entering the real world, guys. Entering the real world.
Entering the real world.
That swordsman in Indiana Jones who does this crazy display, and then Indy just shoots him. Actually, Oompa Loompa Doobity Doo when Boba Fett dies. Well,
at the Revenge of the Sith.
yeah. Or when Vader's helmet comes off. Oompa loompa doopity. It's like, you put a purple wig on him and he does look like an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, he does.
I sound like the worst human being in the world now. Although it's Darth Vader, I mean, it doesn't excuse all the atrocities he committed.
No, he doesn't.
Anything from Jurassic Park, but instead of Oompa Loompas, a dozen little Jeff Goldblums run out and start singing cautionary tales about how the park was doopity doomed to fail.
God.
What is this, a Dr. Seuss movie?
Yeah.
I just had a thought. The beginning of Up.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I am such the worst human being in the world.
That is terrible.
I'm gonna make a TikTok of that now, and people are just gonna massively unfollow.
Probably, I just felt a disturbance in the force when you said it. Like Jesus.
Or the end of Green Mile. Who knows?
Yeah.
The guy in World War Z who ran with his finger on the trigger and tripped going up the ramp. Fair enough. It's got to be pretty much stupid death scenes, isn't it? So the father in A Quiet Place, so there'll be a domino effect where Oompa Loompas start to go to war against the aliens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would deafen them, the Oompa Loompa song. Have you ever seen that, A Quiet Place?
I have. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Brilliant.
Have they made a second one already?
They did.
I've got to watch the second one. I've seen the first one. The first one was great. One of the best films of the last decade. Like horror films.
Yeah.
Like interesting premise.
I love John.
Well.
John Krasinski is one of my favorite human beings ever.
If they were ever going to do Fantastic Four, get him and who's his wife, Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah, get them to be Sue Storm and Reed Richards.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Make bank.
Haven't they got? Didn't they get some of the rights from Fox? Didn't they? I think
they've gotten the rights for the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. So I'm hoping they actually do that decision.
Yeah.
Cast those two as Reed and Sue.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that
because
we really need a good Fantastic Four film. So
yeah. I mean,
get two Oscar-winning actors to do it who are also married and also still horny for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
That's gonna be one of the most realistic sex scenes. Woo! Vizzini and the Princess Bride. I've hardly seen the Princess Bride, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not. That's one that's kind of passed me by.
The Hunger Games. What about the Red Wedding? Or the Oberyn Martell death.
Yeah.
I know she didn't die, but Umbridge being carried off by centaurs really needs a song.
Yeah, it does.
I was watching a video of something that didn't make sense in the movies as much as it did in the books, and it was that Umbridge confiscated everyone's brooms. So when they were like flying to the Ministry, when they're traveling to the Ministry, people weren't suggesting, well, why don't we just use our brooms?
No, I watched a movie review about like J.K. Rowling, and she kind of sucks as a writer. She kind of forgets what she's done in the books, and then tries to implement it in the films, and then forgets like the 10 steps she got to make that make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of ruins Harry Potter by effect. So,
yeah. It says here Quicksilver and Age of Ultron, and I'm just thinking of Tony in Endgame now.
Oh no.
That's just a quick fire thing for saying, Alexa, play the Oompa Loompa song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my Alexa went off in the background.
Yeah.
Alexa, volume 10. It's just playing some random piano. Alexa, play the Oompa Loompa song. Can you hear that?
Yeah. Oompa Loompa from Kieran, Spotify playlist.
This just sounds like the intro to Lose Yourself by Eminem. Well, incoming copyright strike. Alexa, stop! Alright. See if we've got any more before we continue on. Hans Gruber in Die Hard. Oh, or Snape. Slipknot from Suicide Squad. I've never seen Suicide Squad, and I think that's probably a good relief that I haven't. Jack from the Titanic. Oh dear. That's just saying, like, a subtext for you should have gotten onto the door.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the Mist. Dumbledore. There's quite a few good ones in here, but yeah, we could
Forrest Gump. Fucking hell,
we could go on. Right, okay, we'll get on to our segment of Listen to This. Have you got Spotify ready, Tom?
Yes, it is. It's. What am I listening to?
So we usually do a bit of a summary beforehand, and there's quite an underrated band that I heard of. I think it was like 2019, called Ghost Iris. Now they're this song you're going to listen to is pretty slapping. They're, as you can see here, Denmark's next big thing, as described by Louder. They're quite a different band in the streets of metalcore and things like that. I thought it was like last year that Ghost Iris changed their name to the Ghost Inside or something when I first heard of the Ghost Inside, but that didn't seem to be the case. But so we're gonna play it after Go. So the song I want you to listen to is not Ghost Inside. I've picked Ghost Inside, but Ghost.
Yeah, I've got it set up on my phone now because it's easier to set it up on my phone and have it play on my MacBook than it actually is to type it up on my MacBook while this is playing.
Yeah.
Technical issues.
So there we go. Okay, that's good, I think. Bear with me a sec. All right, let's try this one again because it was a bit of technical difficulties. My apologies. So, Ghost Iris, Tom.
Yep.
Yeah, a band that I listened to last year. They actually came onto one of my vocal covers on Instagram and said, "Hey, man, great stuff. You should check out our music." And I'm like, "I'm sure I've heard of these guys before." And I listened to them. I was like, "Yeah, dude, I already beat you to the punch, so no worries about that." I think it was one of my Trivium covers. So it was still quite good that they acknowledged it and they started liking more of my stuff. So I'm happy to do that, and so it's also good to beat these guys to the punch. But the new song that they've got is just like incredibly slapping. So I'll load it up now. The song is called Paper Tiger. Mm-hmm. Let me know when you've got it.
I've got it. Like, I'm ready to play it as soon as you're ready.
All right, cool. Yeah. So on go after 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Kind of sounds a bit.
I like that. Jesus.
It's fucking good, isn't it?
Fucking just like. Oh, that double bass pedal, man.
I know.
Fucking riff.
It kind of reminds me of like a Thy Art Is Murder song.
It is a little bit, yeah.
But I remember seeing the preview for this. I was like, this is gonna be good already.
Yeah.
I love his growls as well.
He's got like really like crisp like vocal delivery. Like I want that kind of growl. You know, it's great.
Yeah. Very dark as well.
Yeah.
It's
got kind of the scene of like black metal over it, but it's still a metalcore song.
Yeah.
I dig that. I do dig that kind of sound.
I'm looking forward to a new album by them whenever that comes out.
Yeah. They've got a bit Trivium-y now and a bit kill switchy now. So kind of gone for a like very like slow bit in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
Back to heavy.
I'm so happy I got those subwoofer headphones because it just like every time I listen to bass drums now, it just like kicks my ears off.
I'm quite surprised how good these headphones are because like I can hear everything really well.
Yeah.
First time I listen to music and you at the same time with these.
Yeah, like these are open and they only costed like 40 quid, but they sound exceptional.
Yeah.
They always make budgeted stuff though, Samsung.
Yeah, they do, yeah. Better than Sony, I think, when it comes to sound production.
But that's SAMSON, by the way, not the usual Samsung.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's the end of it.
So yeah,
That was freaking tasty.
it was. Yeah.
That was very tasty. I like it. I'm gonna check out more of their stuff.
Ah, good to
They're
hear.
a name I've heard like on various different metal forums, so it's really interesting to hear them kind of do like a kind of a heavy take on metalcore.
Yeah.
They are a bit Die Artist Murder though, and I dig that.
Yeah.
I think there's very few bands that do what Die Armada do. But they've kind of got that kind of light Trivium-esque instrumentation going on. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
the
because
slow bit was very like Still the Sentence era Trivium. Like I dig that.
Yeah, they're not that old either. So their first album came out in 2015. That was Anecdotes of Science and Soul. So I'll go back and listen to that one because I think I haven't listened to Blind World either. The latest album was in 2019 called Apple of Discord, which is pretty good as well. So that I'd recommend listening to that if you like this stuff as well. So yeah, fresh new band coming off the face of it. They're from Denmark, and they haven't announced any new album yet, but I imagine that they might do. Probably 2022 because or late 2021 because Apple of Discord came out in 2019. So yeah, let's see how it goes. But yeah, that was Ghost Iris with Paper Tiger. So Tom, have you picked anything off the top of your head that you've been listening to as of late?
As of late, okay. So I'm trying to ignore all the Phil Collins I've been listening to, and all
you can include that if you want, but it's up to you.
All the dirty doom metal I've been listening to. Probably like my favorite thing recently. I've been obsessed with the new Spirit Drift album, to be honest with you. And the Dirty Neil, but the new Dirty Neil album is incredible. I love it. It's my favorite album of the year so far. I know we're only in the second weekend, but it is so good. Yeah, definitely. I'm big on Doom Boy. That album. Doom Boy is incredible.
All right.
Listen to that
because I've heard a lot of good things about that, but yeah, I just haven't gotten around to listening to it yet. So I think I'll go with this one. So how long have these guys been going for? Have they been going on long or?
So they've been around since like 2016. They've been around a while. This is like their like next like major full length album. Obviously everyone has kind of been excited about it in our Discord server. They're obsessed in Rob and yours Discord server about this album.
Yeah.
And I spent like the last week listening to it along with like various other weird shit that I'm into. But yeah, it's really good. And we're going to play Doom Boy. If anyone's heard that, it's the opening track off the album. I think it's really, really good. So I think let's react to that, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good to me. All right. Okay. So
1, 2, 3. Should be playing now.
Oh, I love that already. Oh,
that's it.
You know, like Sum 41 when they love to go thrash.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of then. A bit of Neck Deep in there as well.
Yeah. It's got kind of a bit more of a hardcore edge than that stuff though, which is why I like it.
Yeah.
Because I like stuff like Alexis on Fire. Like I like that kind of melodic but very guttural, like gonna stab you in the gut hardcore.
Mm.
It's like one of my favourite things in the universe when it's done well. So I like Feed the Rhino. So.
It does take you back to that like mid or early 2000s era of like, you know, the punk rock sort of era of things.
They are like Slam Dunk band though. They are a slam dunk band.
Oh, I'd see them at Slam Dunk definitely.
Yeah.
With my lighter in the air, or
I love this chorus. It's great. It's fucking great.
Or my inflatable rubber ring with a duck on it.
Yeah.
In the air. Beach balls.
Yes.
Doom Boy. Is that like the counterpart of Suicide Girl?
Yes. Suicide Girl. Bit of instinct reference on the podcast, eh?
Oh yeah.
No, what I do like about them is the element of the hardcoreness in them with the thrashier riffs, and then you've got this big like pop rock chorus that just comes in over the top of it, and it's one of my favourite things.
Yeah.
You can marry my love for pop punk and marry my love of fucking guttural, fucking dirty hardcore. My two favourite, like, mix that shit together.
Yeah. No, I'm enjoying it. It's just it's a nice fun listen, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I love that. Listen, that's like Teenage Dirtbag alternative to listen to Iron Maiden.
Yeah. Oh, they are kind of the opening band I want at Hella Mega along with the Interrupters though. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
No, that's good.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that was like sugar to my ears. That's the only thing I've come up with. Okay, yeah, I dig that. I'm gonna listen to the rest of that. I think it's just a nice when July comes in now and hopefully lockdown is lifted. You know, gonna flock to the beach and just put that on my Bluetooth speakers and just celebrate in the sun.
Yeah. It's the kind of music I want to play like when we're at download at camp. It's the kind of that kind of music.
Yeah.
Like chilling out. Hopefully that happens because, yeah, God knows I want a music festival again.
All right. Yeah. So essentially, yeah, that was Doom Boy by the Dirty Nil. So we come on to our final segment, and it's really weird that I'm I know that I'm reading it off this website this time. But it's Would You Rather. So I've pulled up 100 Would You Rather questions from signupgenius.com, and Tom, since I'm doing it, you can call out a number and we'll go through it, and I'll read out the question and see what we can get.
We'll go with my chosen new Leeds United number 96.
96.
We'll go with 96.
Okay.
Phenomenal year as well. Great year.
Ooh.
I was born. Rage Against the Machine. Also, so.
I mean, we've already done this one, but since it's a new fresh opinion in it, we'll do it again. Would you rather physically or mentally never age?
I'd physically not age any more than I already am and keep my mind growing, because I feel like I could do some damage at staying at a 24-year-old age, physical prime, you know, with the mind of a much older man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'd get very bored eventually and then like give up and become like some kind of overlord,
Yeah.
or something. I don't
I can
know.
I can imagine like mentally never aging, and eventually you just become like just a brain in a tube full of liquid. You know,
Yeah,
like a
it's like some
supercomputer.
really like Z level Batman villain,
Yeah,
like that kind of vibe.
yeah, the Joker without his body or something.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like Batman Beyond type shit. That like I'd feel a little bit, creeped out by it by the end of the day. So
yeah. At least I wouldn't.
end of the century.
Uh, how would you see if you were like a brain in a massive water tube? Would you be like, would you have a camera linked to the nerves from your brain, or I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. It'll be like that episode of Doctor Who with Cassandra, where she's looking for a new body. So I might as well just clone myself into another body, or my body starts eventually breaking down.
Mm,
So yeah.
okay. Another number.
Let's go with 13.
13.
Unlucky number 13.
Oh, okay, we haven't got this one yet. Would you rather be Batman or Spider-Man?
Ooh. Mm. Real answer. I'd rather be Batman because I'm rich,
Yeah,
but also I only have Alfred and my sons for company. While Spider-Man has like all the hot like girlfriends
oh yeah,
like Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy.
yeah.
So like it's kind of a I feel like I could murk most of Spider-Man's Rose Gallery. I
L-
couldn't do that with Batman's
I
Rose Gallery.
I always
They would all eat me alive. They're all like very bad paragons of mental health. So
Yeah, I always find that Black Cat is the kind of girl that reads your messages in your Instagram DMs and doesn't reply but likes all your pictures because
yeah,
she's got that weird persona about her. But
weird
yeah,
energy.
I think in terms of superpowers, Spider-Man would be really handy. And I think like for his personal life, he has been quite through a bit of trauma, um, like losing his losing Gwen, but then he got Mary Jane after that, and then but Batman he's gone through trauma from quite a bit, and he's incredibly brainy, and he can come up with any plan, like how to take down Superman of all people. So there's that. So in terms of that, I think if Batman hung it up, he'd probably have enough to let him go on. But Peter, he's kind of like still, working or middle class, and he's more of he works on more commissions than anything. So I think he's got the shorter end of the straw there. So I would probably, in terms of my personal life, probably Batman.
Yeah.
I think so. All right, we'll go with one more.
Mhm.
What number?
Ooh, let's go with 24.
24. You know what's funnier than 24?
What?
25.
Eh.
Right. Would you rather go deep sea diving or bungee jumping?
Bungee jumping
Yeah. Why would you say that?
because the sea creeps me out.
Yeah.
The
I
sea
stepped on a
creeps me out.
stonefish. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. Just get me up, get me back up.
Uh,
And
no.
also, I've played way too much Bioshock for it to actually be a feasible answer for me to go down. So yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. You've seen how insane people get in an underwater city. So yeah,
Yeah,
not
no.
something I want to get. Like I'd rather like something like Subnautica, even though Subnautica's still like trying to avoid these dangerous animals, than Bioshock. It's like
Yeah.
it's like there's no safe place. The sky is almost as dangerous as the sea in terms of in the Bioshock world. So you never know. So yeah, there's that. I'll do 25 because I think that one's been called out before, and I think 25 hasn't. So, would you rather be a kid your whole life or an adult your whole life?
I'd rather I I quite like being an adult and having the independence of being away from home.
Hmm.
I quite enjoy having my own like life, my own friends, my own sort of independence
Yeah,
as an adult.
I like being
You
taken
know,
more
I didn't
seriously
have a
as an
fun
adult.
childhood. Well, I had an all right childhood, but I didn't have a fun. Like, I did not have a fun childhood. It was very unsure of myself. Didn't really know what I wanted in my life or who I was. And as an adult, I kind of have more of that
Mm.
freedom to explore that. So yeah, I'd rather be an adult for my entire life
Yeah,
than be a kid.
if I could go back to like, the days of being bullied and stuff, and erase that bullying to in order to like kind of at that age, my brain was more like a sponge. You know that time before you're 9 years old, and you learn more, you learn your habits and things a lot quicker. Um, Being bullied, I think, was a massive confidence knocker for me, and it took years to get it back.
Yeah.
Like I used to be like the fastest to finish anything in class, and then as soon
No,
as that happened, I moved school. I was one of the
it's weird
slowest.
because like even when like people like I get hit on a lot. I get hit on a lot, and I can't even clock it because in my mind I'm still that fat kid that got bullied at school and kicked around for being a metalhead.
Hmm.
That's yeah, in my mind I'm still that kid,
Yeah.
which is a good attitude to have because you remain humble. But at the same time, I'm not thankful that I got bullied by people that are dicks.
Mm.
Who used to call me gay and beat me up and stuff like that's not cool
Yeah.
in whatsoever. But yeah, like I like the fun memories of being a kid, like going to WrestleMania as a kid was really fun, and like you know going to Disney World as a kid was really fun. Like I think the naivety of childhood is kind of an underrated thing. The innocence of discovering new things and seeing things for the first time is something that I always admire about children or kids. I always admire that. If I do ever become a dad, like I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna try and see it through their eyes, like the wonderment of discovering new things.
Yeah.
Because when you get older, you tend to get a bit jaded and a bit like this isn't as good as it was. But I think kids have that level of, oh, this is a new thing, and this is all new to me, and this is a discovery I've made. And hopefully, if I ever become a dad, that would be something I'll get to live through my kids. Do you understand? Like seeing like them get excited about things that I would have got excited about, or new phenomenons that will never possibly understand.
Yeah.
But excited for them that they're getting into something that makes them happy. So I like that side of childhood, not so much the being bullied, having troubles at home kind of deal, but more the naive special moments. I think as an adult, you kind of have that, but it's more the little things. It's the security of being an adult and the security of being able to choose your own path that I think makes an adult more profound.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
Welcome to the Kia podcast, guys. We've all got a bit emotional in here, eh?
Uh,
But
we
yeah,
we do we do have our emotional segments. It's
yes,
you gotta show some humanity in these things. I can't pretend
of
everything is
course.
all hunky dory, because that's just not life at the end of the day, is it?
No, it's not.
You
It's not
know,
life.
I mean, I get my days where I'm like, oh, I can't be asked to do anything. I mean, even after the podcast last week, I crawled into bed and I was shivering and everything, and I thought I had COVID, but
Yeah,
I got the test the next day, and that it was negative. So I think it was just that ham I ate. Um,
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I mean, in my perspective, like I said, if I could like learn to stand up for myself at an earlier age, by all means. But I'm happy that I've learned those lessons for myself to be a stronger person in today's world. Um, and then going back to like the flirting aspect of things, I always find a lot of the time that when I see when I have seen girls post online and go, oh, why how do I when will this guy ask me out and things like that. I'm just thinking to myself, don't ask them out. And that always seems weird to people, because it's expected for guys mostly to do that, and I
No,
don't think that should be the
I
case.
actually find it very attractive when a woman tells me I'm attractive
Hmm.
because then I know that I can show her that I'm attracted to her as well. I find that, but then again, I'm I'm subby as fuck. So like, I like a strong woman. So it's like, yeah, cool.
I just like a girl who replies.
Yeah, same.
That's all I ask. Treat me like shit. Don't worry. Just reply to my bloody message. No. That was me when I was single, by the way. Disclaimer. Yeah. No, I think that was just such a that was such an annoying time on Tinder and dating apps and stuff. But no.
Yeah.
But well, that's another part of life, I guess. But it can be improved, I think. But yeah. Thank you, Tom, for being a part of this episode. I really appreciate it.
Fine. I'm very happy if you ever need me to come back on.
Yeah.
When moments like this happen. It's been a fun hour and a half. I think it's been fantastic. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a bit of cool change of pace as well to see like if things don't go as planned, like what alternatives there are for the podcast and things like that. So cool. It offers some good perspective on that. Let me pause that. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I hope you're happy with it as well.
No, I am very happy, man. Very happy. Happy to help.
Do you know anybody who's online that you'd like to raid at all?
I don't know.
Okay. If anyone in the chat wants us to raid someone, then let me know. But whilst we say that, thank you guys for watching, and you can follow myself on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and YouTube, all under the same handle, Kieran Benji. I've also got my cover channel, which is KB Kook. I've recently released a cover for Architects, Black Lungs, so go ahead and check that out.
Very good, by the way. I would recommend.
Thank you. And where can we find you, Tom?
So most of my handles, you can find me on Instagram. It's all lowercase at King of Rockaholic Style 128. That's my Instagram handle. You can also find me on my Discord server. It's Rockaholic Club for life. You know, Too Sweet Brother, Bullet Club reference. That's my Discord. We can join in the conversation with me and my other projects. Very similar fan base to this one. Some of you guys watch both our podcasts. It's kind of a shared podcast universe, like the MCU. Ooh, universes. Woo! So yeah, if you want to go check out my Discord, 8 p.m. tonight, I'm going to be having a few mates and a few bevies playing Jackbox games. If anyone wants to join us on my smoking zone in there, so yeah, defo check it out.
Awesome.
But yeah, Instagram at King of Rockaholic Style 128, and my Discord is Rockaholic Club for life. So yeah, and of course, Predetermined Podcast TV every Friday or Tuesday, depending when we get our stuff together. So yeah, awesome.
Sounds
Feel
good.
free to check it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what I can do. I think Saturday nights are usually movie nights for me, but it's usually Friday nights where I get to just stay up late and things. So yeah, it's
because most of the stuff, like if I had like a normal job and was like doing normal things, I'd be going to the pub with my mates on a Saturday night. But no, I'm stuck in my room.
Yeah, fair enough.
With a tropical juice and a curry and feeling miserable for myself. I'd rather spend time drinking with my mates online and figuring shit out than doing that. So yeah.
Okay, so Rob has recommended we raise Jason Bittner from the drummer of Shadows Fall, which is struck a chord to me because Shadows Fall was one of the main metal bands I grew up with. So yeah, it's good to see Jason Bittner still drumming, especially on Twitch. It doesn't have permission. Okay, I'll do it. Let's have a look. Raid channel, Jason Bittner. Okay, there we go. So ready to raid soon. 3 viewers. All right, guys. Well, that is the end of the podcast. Be sure to give Jason Bittner some love. And until next time, thank you, guys, and lights out.